Did you know that on average it takes 23 minutes to recover from a distraction and getting back to doing focused work? And on average we get distracted every 11 minutes. We pretty much never get into that flow state, and this is why most people feel like they can never get enough work done. If you could instantly get into that hyper-productive state, you would be more productive than 99% of people. And with these habits, you can do that anywhere at any time you want. So in this video, I will show you the 5 easy habits that will instantly make you hyper productive, how you can implement them in less than 15 minutes a day, and the myth most people believe that's actually ruining their productivity. So have you ever been tired while working, decided to take a nap, and woke up 30 minutes later feeling like you've been hit by a truck, just having wasted half an hour for no reason? Or worse, you didn't even manage to fall asleep at all. Instead, you just laid there and stared at the ceiling, contemplated your life choices, thinking about that embarrassing thing you did in 3rd grade. Taking a nap is risky. You might end up feeling more tired, or you fall into the trap of paradoxical intention. The harder you try to sleep, the less likely you are to succeed. So forget naps. Stop trying to deactivate your body. Instead, activate it. I discovered how powerful this approach was a few months ago when I took on a challenge to do a few hundred push-ups, pull-ups, or sit-ups every day. To pull it off, I started dropping down for push-ups even between work sessions. And every time I did this, I noticed I could suddenly get 10 times more work done afterwards. My body was flooded with adrenaline, and I felt like a productivity superhero. That's the worst superhero. More useful than Hawkeye, at least.
Straight sniffing your tail.
Now, even without that challenge, I still sometimes do push-ups just for energy. It only takes a minute, just do 1 set to failure. Or you can do the more common and less extreme version of activating your body and go for a walk, or even a short run. It's like hitting the refresh button on your brain. It's so immensely powerful, much more so than deactivating and taking a nap. But what if there was actually a way for you to deactivate the right way? Sometimes we just feel like a phone on 1% battery. We're too tired for push-ups. Naps might not be the answer here, but there's a hack you can try instead. You may have heard neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman promote something called non-sleep deep rest, or yoga nidra. It's like a sleep meditation, but you stay awake the whole time. And this is such an underrated hack. This is like one of the greatest additions to my life in the last year. It's super easy. Just search 15-minute yoga nidra on YouTube and boom, you're fully restored. And now you might be thinking, but Rasmus, why wouldn't that come with the same risks as a nap? Because first off, yoga nidra doesn't steal your energy like a nap could do for some people. It actually restores you. Secondly, the risk of not falling asleep isn't an issue because you're not supposed to fall asleep during a yoga nidra. And if you accidentally do, cool, you got a nap instead. And if naps work for you, Bob's your uncle. But what if you can't do a yoga nidra? Like, what if you just woke up in the morning? You don't want to go back to bed and do a yoga nidra. You will most definitely fall asleep. Believe me, I've tried it, and you wake up hours later wondering what year it is. The next 2 habits are incredibly powerful morning habits, and they make you able to sit down and work super focused just a few minutes after waking up. What do you think was the first thing human beings saw in the caveman days when they woke up in the morning? A completely dark room? A phone or a computer screen? No, they probably saw the sky, right? Even way back before we evolved into humans, we have always woken up to the sky in the morning. We've literally developed specialized cells in our eyes that, when exposed to strong blue light, much stronger than what you get from your phone, send a signal along the optic nerve to the hypothalamus in the brain. This part regulates our circadian rhythm and kickstarts it for the day. Basically, getting natural light in the morning is like your brain grabbing you by the shoulders, shaking you violently, giving you a smack in the face, and yelling, "Wake the fuck up!" And this leads to an instant boost in energy. It's the first thing I do every day. Either go outside, or if you can't do that, just open a window and sit there for a few minutes. You only need 5 minutes for this effect to be strong. The only downside is that you can only get this effect in the morning, unlike this next habit. Now, I mostly do this in the morning because it's so powerful, but you can do it any time of the day when you need a kick of energy, and the effects last for hours. There's only one downside to it, and I'll tell you that in a minute. So imagine again, you're a caveman, you're feeling lazy and tired and exhausted, and your brain feels like jelly. But suddenly, you hear a rustle in the bushes next to you. You freeze, scanning your surroundings with a mind as sharp as a knife. You know there are tigers in this area. Your heart starts pumping, your airways expand, and your pupils dilate. Why is this happening? Because your body is flooded with biochemicals that make you hyper-focused, especially adrenaline. Now, there's something you can do to achieve this effect anytime, and it only takes 1 to 2 minutes. It floods you with adrenaline, waking you up from whatever sluggish state you're in. It increases focus so much, and it's the only thing that scientists have found that will instantly increase your dopamine baseline for hours. And dopamine is what makes you motivated, meaning that you'll be ready to put in the work instantly after doing this. So, what is this magical habit? Deliberate cold exposure. A cold shower, or if you can, an ice bath. But I need to warn you, while it is effective in the morning and gives you a boost anytime during the day, you probably don't want to do it later in the day or in the evening. Thing is, your body will heat up afterward, making it harder to sleep. So the earlier you do it, the better. Oh, and if you're wondering what happened in the story with the caveman, it turns out it was a tiger. And it jumped on you and, oh no, you died. but there's actually a way you could have lived. If you had done this final habit, you wouldn't have been sitting there wasting your time. You would be out hunting or doing something absolutely necessary for your survival. This habit requires you to get real with yourself, and it is to question what you're doing right now. Tim Ferriss, who is an expert on productivity, says that we should ask ourselves this: if this was the only thing I accomplished today, would I be satisfied with my day? This mindset is a recurring theme in the productivity world. Brian Tracy says that we should eat that frog, meaning tackle that one hard thing first. People also talk about identifying your MIT, your most important task, and doing it. However, the problem is we don't want to just aim to do one thing that takes an hour and then just waste the entire day. But if we have a lot on our plate, this mindset can help us recognize if we're doing something unnecessary or actually focusing on what's important to us. If you're asking yourself this question, if this was the only thing I accomplished today, would I be satisfied with my day? And you're currently sitting there answering a bunch of emails, you might realize that you're kind of wasting time. So how do you make sure that you never fall into the trap of doing this? There is this 5-minute hack that you can do that will save hours every single day because you will never waste time on these pointless activities. And if you want to learn that, watch this video next. And don't forget to earn your sleep.